Welcome anyone to my YouTube channel. This is Everett, aka 2Beast to Kill You, aka the Beast with the Least. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about Xbox doing what I've said they're going to be doing, would eventually be doing, where they're moving to. The video game as a whole, video game industry as a whole is going to be moving toward going digital. Yeah, that's happening. You ain't stopping it. Just how it goes. But before we get into all that, like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. But alright, let's go ahead and get into this topic. So, if you've been on the internet, at least a little bit, looking for video games, which, you know, probably what a lot of you still do. But if you've been on the internet recently after, well, specifically after Xbox's showcase this past week, let's say you're buying, looking into buying Ninja Gaiden 4 Outer Worlds 2. You'll notice that for the box cover arts, at the bottom it says digital game code for both. That is just at least for those two games so far. You know, Outer Worlds 2 is a Microsoft published game, Xbox Game Studios. Ninja Gaiden 4, I believe Xbox is helping with the development, or at least paying for it a little bit. It is going to release, I believe, it's going to release at the same time on PlayStation, so I don't know. Maybe it's just a big marketing deal, or maybe it's just if your game is releasing on Xbox, they're, you know, hey, you don't have to print a CD or a disc. That's me being a little old right there. So yeah, I've been saying this for a while, that Xbox was going to move towards digital. They're pushing for the digital. That's, I mean, the Series S right off the bat with no disc drive. Like, you could see that that's where they wanted to move toward. Plus Game Pass, you know, and it makes sense. Video game developers, publishers, have been for years trying to find any way they can to fight the used game market. They don't want you to actually own your game. I mean, we've even had, like, you know, Ubisoft's, I believe it was Yves Guillemot, saying you don't actually own your games. You know, but this is what the publishers want. They don't want you to be able to sell your games, and then you could sell your game to someone, or you could sell it to a retailer who then will turn around and sell it for $5 less, and then that publisher makes no money. That's why you have Microsoft or Xbox pushing Game Pass so hard, and now seemingly going toward, at least for now, maybe this is just for pre-orders. Closer to launch of these titles, we'll see actual physical discs coming out, but this is what it seems like right now. But yeah, seemingly you're not going to have discs in the actual box of the game. This also is coming at the same time that, like, Gears of War, you know, they announced that it's going to be released on PlayStation 5. There's a physical version that you can pre-order and everything for Gears of War Reloaded, but there is not even a box copy, quote-unquote box copy, with a digital code at least, for Gears of War Reloaded. I mean, that might change, and there is a quote-unquote box copy, but it'll most likely contain a disc, a digital code. So yeah, this is Xbox's, at least, like I said, this is just my opinion. This is Xbox's big move now toward, that's it. No more discs. This is how we control your game library, or control our games being sold to whoever. And I mean, you know, you have EA. They have their EA. I don't remember what it's called. EA Play or whatever it's called. There's Ubisoft Plus. I mean, PlayStation has something too, you know, with PlayStation Plus Premium and all that. Nintendo has their Nintendo Online library. I mean, Nintendo actually is starting to do, even though they're giving you a quote-unquote physical version of the game, a lot of those games are, you've got to download pretty much most of it. I forgot what they're called, key cards or something. So, yeah, I mean, even Nintendo's doing it. I would not be surprised if in the next couple of years PlayStation is doing it. as well, because it just makes sense for these publishers to do that, because they want to cut down on costs. That's why we don't have booklets in video game cases anymore. When you buy, I'm old enough to remember, you buy a game and there was a game manual in there. A lot of times, nothing. It's not even a piece of paper anymore that maybe has like a whole thanks for buying our game, or even an advertisement for another game from that publisher. Like, a lot of times that's not even a thing anymore. So yeah, just the more and more where publishers can cut corners, they're going to do it. Printing discs costs money. If they can look at it and say like, well, you know what, we don't have to print a disc, we'll just give them a digital code. They can have the box. We'll give them their box. That's most likely what they're going to do, because it saves them money. And before you think it or say it, no, they're not going to pass those savings on to us. That's never going to happen. People always say that, like, well, digital versions of games should cost less. If they're going to do this, then, you know, the video games should cost less, this and that, whatever. Whatever it is people want to say. That's never going to happen. These are companies, you know, corporations. It's always about making more money, especially here, you know, American corporations. That's just how it is. Like, whether we like it or not, that's never going to change. So, you know, we're going to have to accept certain things. It's all an inevitability. I mean, in the end, we don't really have a say as like the main consumer of games, the quote unquote gamers, because a lot of the mass audience will still buy whatever is put out there. I mean, if you've looked at the video game news lately, Nintendo just came out and said they sold 3.5 million Switch 2s. If you looked online leading up to the launch of that console, there was a lot of people saying, I would never buy this. I'm not going to buy this. Don't buy this. This is anti-consumer. And sure enough, it's their fastest selling console within at least a 4-day period. So far. I mean, I would not be surprised if this basically matched Switch 1 numbers in terms of sales. But that's just how it's going to go. Again, this is the future. I mean, you know, PlayStation, even the PlayStation 5 Pro didn't have a disc drive. You could buy one. But yeah. And then with now Xbox is doing a partner handheld with Asus. Yeah. You know, the digital future is... It's probably here. It's probably not even a future. So, I don't even know. I think my little rant right there is over. I'm just going to keep beating the same drum. This is where it's going. This is where it is.
That is the sound of inevitability.
I'll go ahead and end it right there. If you like what I do on this channel, like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good shit. And until next time, I'll catch you later.